this is a new comics pickup. Normally I don't speak on the comics I do because I mean obviously because if they're new I haven't really read them properly yet, and especially if they're ongoing. But I thought a little bit different with this one because this one is a official movie tie-in comic, and it's of the Flash, the Fastest Man Alive movie, which was obviously was due to come out this year, but obviously it's been delayed until sometime in the middle of 2023 because obviously the stuff that's going on with the accusations that have been put towards actor Ezra Miller, which I've spoken about this in previous other videos, and it's kind of a real shame when you hear about stuff like this. I mean, there are people, for example, who are Marvel fanboys, or they're just relish in seeing these things happen because it's another notch in the belt. So, with this ongoing fanboy wars between DC and Marvel comics, whether it's the comics or the movies, which personally I do find pathetic because at the end of the day, a real comic book fan will like comics regardless whether it is DC or Marvel or there are other comics like Dark Horse and Image, and there's loads of other independent comic book publications out there. And to me it's a real shame when you see fanboys on either side being stocking at the fanboys, and sites like Comic Book Movie that do that as well, which kind of detracts from the love of comic books. For me, I've always been a big comic book fan. I mean, one day I think I will give you it's kind of a small tour of the amount of comics I've got. Trust me, I've got hundreds, I've got thousands upon thousands of comics. I mean, because me and my brother have been collecting for over 30 years plus, so I've got tons of them. So in due course, you might see some. I might do a little video showing of of our comic collection, but it's gonna be I'm gonna have to do it in stages because that's what's good, because as I said before there's loads of them. So yeah, as you can see, I mean the artwork, obviously this is based on his new suit from we've seen in the actual trailer, so, and that's probably the Michael Keaton Batman, I would assume. So obviously this is probably going to be like a prequel that sets up the story. This is the first issue, and it does say it's 1 of 3, so this is going to be a 3-part story. The original idea, I guess, would have been to put out the comic. This would have come out, I mean, shortly after the third and final issue that would have come out with the tie-in. Then the movie would have come in, which would have set it up. Now, when it comes to tie-ins, I mean, I like whether it's the books or comics or graphic novels, I do like when they do tie-ins, but it should, but like it's when they don't do it so to a point where you have to buy the comic book to fill in the gap or what happens in the movie. It should be more of a companion piece. So I like comics when they're done like that, so you don't have to have read the comic books and then watch the prequel and then watch the actual movie, so you're kind of forced to kind of do that. So that's kind of like like great. I mean, I guess before we'll just go through the pages and have a quick look at it. I mean, I haven't read it yet. I mean, I'm going to do that in my own time. Now, what to me, obviously you've got a little advert there for the upcoming Black Adam movie, which actually is looking very interesting. Now, what I'm liking so far is that I'm liking the inking. It's very it's one of the things that when I've read comics that catch my eyes is the use of the colours and how deep and rich the colours are on the actual inking of the actual images. And from what I've seen, it kind of really does stand out. The artwork for me is gonna probably will take some for me some getting used to, because there's certain types of art that I like, so to speak, and maybe I might do that in a separate video one day of particular artists that I actually like and why I like them drawing particular the characters that I love them drawing, and throughout my like comic book history of why there's certain artists or even writers that I associate with particular characters, whether it's in DC or Marvel. But I do like the actual colouring and inking of the actual comic book. So also we've got now that Milestone, I think, is returning, which is kind of great. So if you're Static Shock fans, you're probably going to be really kind of going to be happy. Again, what I do like is with the inking is that it really does pop, and then the actual panels that they've done in the actual comic books, they're actually different. Where they're actually slanted, so it kind of really, I don't know if you're catching it on the camera, on the video, but it's really for me it really does pop with the lightning effects, and when the motion blur, which is kind of a little bit, which is kind of unique. I don't see that too often in the actual comics, and obviously when they're trying to you know, show what something would sound like with the way they would write it in the actual panels. I mean, what I loved about comics growing up as a kid is that it's when you're reading the comic, is that you're kind of building up although you've got the comic book images to show you what's going on. To me it's like I would picture what the actual panels had and playing out in my head like a cartoon, and you're kind of trying to imagine the atmosphere and the smells and how the different characters talk and sound. I don't know if I'm the only one that's kind of done that, but so like it's like with me, like being a Superman fan, you'll try to imagine Superman having this booming heroic voice, and obviously Clark Kent having been his alter ego, having a different voice, and you know, you're building up an idea of what you think a character would sound like in your head. So that's pretty cool. When we go back to the previous page, you can see this looks, I don't know if this looks more like the suit that he was wearing in the Justice League movie. Where it was kind of more metallic. So again, we've got like, you know, like the colours and the motion blur. That's pretty cool. You can see, even looking at both pages, how the colours just pop. You've got Harley Quinn here, 30th anniversary. She's got a Killer 96 page special coming out. I don't know what month this came out. You've got Batman in. That's probably the Ben Affleck one, I would assume. Yeah, by the comic design, by the design of the suit. That's kind of pretty cool. So yeah, it just looks like he's wearing the old costume, and then he's got the ring there. I see the motion blur again. But as I said before, this is 1 of 3, so this is kind of going to be interesting as to how this is going to play out. It's got an advert here for Batman versus Robin. I mean, I do have that, which I will do in a separate video. But yeah, this is issue 1 of 3 of the movie tie-in of the movie The Flash, the fastest man alive. So yeah, I hope people like this video. And again, as I've always said, feel free to like and to share this video. If you already haven't, please subscribe to my channel if you want to see more stuff like this. And I'll speak to you all again soon. Take care, bye for now, and stay safe.